Step into the frame where the magic flows. Edward Grable Studios, where the wild wind blows. Colors burst, stories collide, dreams unfold. Every shot a spark, every scene a roar. You've never seen a world like this before. Edward Grable, where the legends take flight. Edward Grable, shining day and night. Grab your dreams, hold them tight. Edward Grable Studios, pure.
And out of the $1,500 here, this is about 1,000.
And I can tell you for years, I'm the one that brought that information to the school after talking to somebody.
Really?
And so for years we did not do that. And they were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes." You just start doing. We have 4 of them.
The other interesting thing that can happen though is that if you do it, sometimes it'll just stay in the other gear that you had it in. And so you'll think you've set it to tight. And again, not every time you do this does it explode, but you'll change it from medium to tight while the thing's on, and you'll plunge, and it'll still be wide. And you will not appreciate that on your work.
So, and when you turn this on, you kind of got to push this forward. It comes forward and then it clicks on. But I can also just, and this is more of a feeling thing. You'll feel this when you use it. But I can just nudge this forward. And it just turns on for a second. Right? Or I can click it on and say. So first I'm just going to bring it to the small setting. So now remember, I'm referencing off my tabs, and that's why we put the foot on here, right? So I can bring my piece right there, and I'm nice and flat. And so when you plunge something like this, especially when you have the help of gravity, you don't want to go too fast. I always say this, that imagine it's like you're driving with an open cup of coffee on your dashboard. You don't want to hit the gas too hard, you don't want to brake too hard, because that's going to spill all over you, right? So easy in and easy out. And you'll be able to hear it when people do it wrong. And it doesn't sound nice. You're taking off too much material at once, so just, you'll see how I plunge. And the other big thing is that when people turn this on, the trigger's away from you right now, but they want to like kind of push the whole thing down, and they'll try and turn it on, and they plunge it down, and then you're kind of hitting, maybe not exactly, maybe you weren't totally set up yet, so there's this sort of thing of like, I hold the base, and I'll just turn it on gently, making sure I'm not in a plunging motion while I turn it on. I can leave it on, and I can go right to the other tab.
I'm not clapping until I see the thing fit in.
I like it.
So
He's a clapper.
I like
The bit
it.
isn't really exposed unless you're cutting.
yeah, it's a very safe
back
tool to
in,
use.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot of carpenters are using this on the job site, that kind of thing. So it's a nice tool to have.
And you'll notice there's sawdust anywhere.
And
Yeah.
make sure you cut 1,000,000 extra same size pieces to practice on.
That's
Yeah.
a great point. I think we're going to get more ash soon, and I want to get a stack of poplars. So you guys, I want to encourage you guys. You're like, okay, I'm about to make this out of maple.
Walnut.
Let me mill up, or walnut. Let me mill up a 12-inch board through the planer at the same time and practice that joint real quick and some poplar. So now I can leave this on. It's overhanging. And I'm just gonna find those tabs and accept it. So I have my center line, but there's no pencil line there. I don't need it. I'm using the tabs. And if this board was wider, which most of your boards are gonna be when you're making a case, is you can use the tabs on your edges, on your outside edges, and then you would still have pencil marks within there to match up, right? This is
And
just,
those things will just flat back in.
yeah, I can just go, like, I'm on it flat, and then they disappear.
There are also wings that attach to this that let you use previous domino holes.
Yeah, well, then, hold on, that's not...
Keep it simple.
Yes, or if you don't want any pencil marks, you can plunge this domino and then use the tab, put the tab inside of that existing domino and move yourself over. Adjust the depth. That's why I only went 15 deep, right? If I was going the other way around and I forgot to adjust the depth, that'd be a big boo-boo. So now,
Domino.
moving
See why I start
to
little.
25, I find the tab again. So now they're all in the tight setting, so it doesn't matter where I put my dominoes in first. I'm looking for my triangles, I'm looking for that outside mark I made, and I'm gonna do a dry fit. Grab 2.
Get ready to clap, Jeff.
Number 8.
When you do this, you will likely collect a small collection of sanded down dominoes.
Zach, do you want them to be that tight? You have to hammer them?
Well, yeah, so in the tight setting, you want them this tight.
Okay.
Now,
I like this.
there we go, they come out. They'll come out, well, this is, you can pull, with effort, you can pull some vice grips out, but also like you're prying onto your material, and we're gonna talk about using test dominoes in a minute.
I like this.
I promised I thought about
It's easy,
everything.
right?
I do, I like this.
So then, bring it through, but you can still see
How beautiful.
the same thing happened. And I
Lines.
honestly, I bet you there's a twist in the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the issue of making those butt joints, because you're not, when you bring your marking gauge down, you can follow, sometimes you can hide that imperfection with certain types of joinery. It's really hard to do that with something like this. But I go, okay, that's gonna be nice and tight when I glue that up. I got a little bit of sanding to do. You can bring that in, and that's our butt joint, right? So, and feel just with 2 dominoes how strong it is.
There it is. The clap from Jeff and Joanne and Rami.
Take it off power to do a couple adjustments here.
You've done these before?
I've used biscuits, but
Here you go.
similar principles.
If you want the fanciest biscuit joiner, it's called a lamello. Heard of that? Yeah, it's like, I think it's like a $900 biscuit joiner.
I got the cheap one with the lamello
Test it
biscuits.
out, Jeff.
What's the
good.
biscuit?
I like it a lot.
It's a really thin, it looks like a football, but it's really thin.
So it's almost
Yeah, you've
like,
seen those,
it's
yeah.
almost like
It's the
this
same
with
concept.
biscuit? Okay.
It's the same
It's
concept.
a football shape.
Yep.
Why would you need a
Is
$900?
that really?
It's for, they make these tabs where you can connect and disassemble like cabinetry really easily. They sell like their own little, like, they're each like $5, $6. And it's super strong on the clip.
Yes, yes.
Go on site, you don't
But
put it around,
look at
yeah.
how wide and how much.
That's like one of, there's, I have a butt joint right here. Now, let's say that this whole thing is a bookshelf that I'm making, and I want a shelf right in the middle. And the shelf is 5/8 of an inch thick, not 3/4, right? How we step our materials down. So we're trying to have this work as much in reality as possible. So we want a shelf about right there. Well, how would I do that? I can't use the foot. I had to take that off because that's going to interfere. And, what do I reference off of, right? Right, yeah. Let me take this off. That's the top, and that's my inside. You can see that. So now I want a shelf right here. And what I'm about to show you, you can put it here, you can put it here, you can put it here, you can put it here. It doesn't matter. You can find that angle, that desired angle. So, you've seen those bookshelves where they they kind of hang at an angle, so that if you look at the books down, this is a really easy way. You would set a bevel gauge to your desired angle, strike a line, and you match that piece of wood on that line, and you would be able to domino it in very quickly, right? So, yeah, and so this will be for the next couple weeks, certain of the, obviously we're in chair world, and then I'm bringing you back to box world, right? Because this might change the way you're gonna build that case. And I want you guys to be a little more prepared and be like, okay, well, I'm going on, this is what it's gonna look like. This is what my sizes need to be. So there's gonna be, not everything's gonna be as easy as this, but I'll show you some different options. Cool. So I want my shelf to sit right here. Again, I'm at the same width, and we're happy.
We know we have to change the bit.
We can change the bit. So I'm gonna lock this up, bring this up.
Roll the Windsor chair and dominoes.
Chair world has always been at war with box
Mix the two worlds.
No, you cannot mix the worlds.
Mix the worlds.
No mixing the worlds.
Live in harmony.
You're going to be the nano world from now to the planet.
I'm mating this thinner piece into this thicker piece. So, but but I need to determine, I know that I'm going into the end grain of my thinner piece. So the number 8 is probably, it'll work. But I'm saying, well, let me play it safe and just put some number 6s in there. Or the shelf's only this wide. I don't need that extra beefiness inside of here. So I'm going to grab my number 6 bit.
The wrench came with the machine.
The width's the same.
Yeah, it's
But you
That
said
piece is thinner.
that one.
oh, this is thinner than this one. Okay, then that's.
Well, you-
I am. But if it's the same one, then you would keep it the same.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I want my shelf to sit right here. I see my triangles here, and I know that this is the top of my case. I can see the joinery on here now, but if you had a big box, it would look the same on both sides. So we always have our triangles still.
Not like a
And
router where you
if I was getting real accurate, I would grab my square, make reference off my edge and make sure I'm nice and straight. But
he's literally right
But
here.
we should when we're doing that.
yeah, I would, but like I also know that I got a straight board, and I'm feeling there's no twist on my edges,
So it's not
also
going to cost on you.
it's also a demonstration. I
A lot of equipment does that just for that reason.
going to, on the bottom of my shelf, make a pencil mark. That's close enough. And then I just made some little indicators to know that this is the top of my shelf, right? And so now I have a pencil line there. I've pulled my piece away that is almost all the marks we need to do. Then I can set it back on there when I'm really ready to. I gotta bring it over here to prepare this. So I can see my marks match up. Here's the back of my shelf. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring it right down onto your piece. And now I'm finding that line again. I'm just exposing that line. Just there.
You could skip the first step and just go there.
So now I'm going to make this one. And now I'm going to make, let's say, I'll move my fence up. Let's bring these tabs in. Maybe you don't want them there because this case is even wider, or you just want to make some pencil marks.
But it would be handy if you just did this thing.
Well, it's not even that much standard for what I'm about to do.
Yes, but then you never learn the right way, Jeff.
Marking these back in.
Let's learn it, Jeff.
Could you leave those out or no?
You could for these pieces, but let's say I wanted, it's good practice when you can to have your domino sit about the edge of your domino, sit about a ½ inch off from the outside of your case. So that brings it in a little further than that. And you know, that makes it really strong. That's where you get some glue surface. It's nice and strong and tight. You know, we'll see with the carcass joint that, the miter carcass, that you can't always do that, but we'll get there. So, but now I'm going to say, I only need to make 3 pencil marks for this. I'm clamped in, I'm ready to plunge in this space, so I'm going to remove those. And I say, I put 2 on my top, and now I want 3 in my shelf. It's going to hold a little more material, it's only number 6 bits. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
And if these are 6, number 6, the length is still 40?
Yep, yeah, so for the number 6s, they're 6 by 40. And so I still need to do the same thing where I go 15 in one direction. So I'm going to do that first. So I need to set my plunge depth. Then, how would I use the fence on this? Well, yeah, I can tell you the answer right now is we don't use the fence when it comes to something, a shelf in the middle of your board. I'm going to unlock it, I'm going to bring my fence all the way up, I'm going to turn it around, and that's where this line comes in handy. That's the center of our bit. And all I need to do is, I know that these are locked into place. I need a domino in this direction. I need a domino mortise in that direction. So why would I put a pencil line on that piece when that's where my domino's sitting, no matter which way I'm plunging, whether it's this way or that way? I only need it on the top piece. And I'm using that same reference mark to plunge both ways. Now when I drew those lines, I didn't pull the square out. I just struck them, right? Don't think of these as long lines. Think of these as points. Right where that corner meets, that's where I want to hit with my line on the domino. So even if my line veers off aggressively because I got bumped by someone, but I was still happy with where it ended, that's where you want to focus this
So
line.
the center line.
The center line. So think of it as a dot, yep. And so I'm on 15, I'm going to plunge down first. And the other thing I want to bring into this is switching the width of the mortise. So it's good practice because when you start gluing up a lot of components, and if you don't hit this line dead on both times, and you try and bring that together, it's probably not going to want to come together, right? You need a little bit of real estate on those edges to make sure that can come through. Yeah, because you're going to end up like that, and then you're like, God. And that's not even glued. So imagine with some glue in there, that's not going anywhere. So what I like to do is I like to determine here's the front of my case, and I'm going to determine that on one of the components I'm going to go all tight, and on the mating component I'm going to do 1 tight, which will be my index, and then the other ones are going to be medium. So on my shelves, which is this piece on top, I'm going to keep it all on the tight setting, so that when I'm gluing my dominoes up and I get my shelves ready, I'm going to pop all the dominoes in there, and then bring them into my case piece, and I have a little bit of alignment there. We're also, because we brought the fence up, we're referencing off the bottom of our domino machine. So it's only the distance from the bottom to the center of the bit. That's what we're thinking about. So that's where that line comes into play. We know right where that domino's hitting. And let's just go for it. So first, I need to, well, if I'm going down first at 15, I'm going to go 1 tight and then 2 wide. And I'm going to switch it back, hit it, bring it to 25, bring it all back to
When
tight.
you say tight and wide,
So tight and then
Medium and large.
but is it one a lot bigger, or are these all the same?
You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see. So yeah, one's a lot bigger. We're not using the really big one.
Okay.
Would you want your type medium as a bit?
Small and medium.
Medium lets, has a bigger.
But he's doing it so it's easier.
Any of them could be your index, right? Well, you know, I don't. Are you thinking about a type of movement, or are you just like just thinking about
I don't know, I like the center one to be tighter than the outside.
So I think it's
top and bottom.
I think it's good practice
he's just doing it
tight to
example.
make sure that comes together really clean. All right, and those, you know what I mean? Yeah, at least the front of your piece, right?
On one of those,
So
then that domino